But essentially, like I made the official decision last December to like leave my master's program in public health and be like, I'm going to do UX. So that was December 2020. Had like 4 rounds of interviews and I was offered the job in June. So that was like 6 months. So UX stands for user experience and UI would be user interface. And essentially together, the umbrella term would refer to like problem solving and innovation in the tech world, like for tech products. And tech products would include like mobile apps or websites. And essentially what it is just kind of seeing what the users would need out of a certain product, doing research to identify what it is that they actually need or what it is that they need fixed in whatever field it's in, and then kind of like iterating based on your research to create a better user experience. I made the decision to switch about a year ago. I graduated college in May 2020, and I had a background in public health, so I really thought I was just going with public health. I have a heart for that. And actually was starting my master's in public health last August. And around that time, I heard about UX, like for the first time. A friend was like, I think you'd be good at it. And so I looked into it. I kind of fell in love with it. And essentially, like, although I loved public health, I didn't really ever put my finger on like what in the field that I wanted to do like day to day, because I had done internships in like health communication and health policy, but I didn't like, although I liked the vision and the purpose of it, I didn't like the day to day. And so I like looked into UX. I'm like, wow, I love this. Like when I would work on it, I felt like I was like in a state of flow. And then kind of like looking into like the salary as well, like that was a big, pull for me. And so when I learned that I could do UX like in public health, I'm like, I love this. This is like a good way to merge my interests, gain a skill, and kind of like use creativity. And so I just felt like it was a good fit for me. So I would say like looking back, it was a good amount of time. Like it was actually very reasonable. Definitely was a challenge. Like during the time, it felt like it was taking forever. But essentially, like I made the official decision last December to like leave my master's program in public health and be like, I'm going to do UX. So that was December 2020. And then I did like a UX mentorship for about 4 months. And then when speaking with my dean, actually from my master's program at American, my dean was like, why are you leaving basically? And so I told her that I was interested in UX. And once she heard like what it was, she was like, I think there's somebody from this program or that graduated from this program that is in digital health. Like, would you want me to connect y'all? So we connected, and she actually connected me with the design lead at my current company. And so I had like 4 rounds of interviews, and I was offered the job in June. So that was like 6 months. Mostly like podcasts. I like this one podcast called Design Plugged. I also like UI narrative podcasts, and then like YouTube videos. Like I watch lots of, especially like Black women, like women that I feel represented by, like on YouTube that are in UX. So that helps. I used to like blogs, but I kind of just watch and listen now. I think, so from my perspective, yes, but I will say because I'm newer to the field and I'm still like getting a feel for things, like from what I see, like other Black women in the field are really trying to create spaces for representation. So to me, that kind of implies that maybe there is some like lack of representation or challenges in that space. So I would say just off of that, maybe I could see how there could be gaps. But from my experience, I guess because there's such like a flood of resources of Black women, like to me, I feel like represented. I would definitely say Nandi Manning. So Nandi, she was my mentor in the mentorship program I mentioned previously. She has a mentorship program called UX Her. On Instagram there, we are UX Her. And then I really like Tolu Garcia. She has a podcast called UI Narrative. And so both of them were really instrumental. Although I don't know Tolu personally, both of them were instrumental in inspiring me and kind of like learning resources for UX. I would definitely say listening skills, because unlike other forms of like visual design, like UX is really backed by research. And so it might look like a user interview, a survey, like it's very heavily research based. So it's very easy to kind of like design based on your own bias of what you think users need, but you could be completely wrong. So you really have to like connect to like research, as well as like practical skills, including like programs. So like there's different UX programs that you can design on. And like, so they're basically like very similar. So like you might get to one, but like you get hired at a place that uses another one. It's kind of easy to adapt to. Like I use Figma, but at my job now they use Adobe XD. So I feel like what's next for me is definitely like innovating in the public health space. Like I really want to design products that help people with mobile health, specifically like Black health. Like I'm really passionate about that space. Like I really think mobile health apps and like intervention on the phone are like the future. So I look forward to doing research in that space and innovating in that space.